What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor, and as the first comment in the live chat says today, we are so back. We got some green candles. The hype is in the air. The FOMO is in the air. Can you feel it? I know I certainly can. Hope everyone is doing great. Smash up the like button as you're tuning into the stream, and let's get this one started. Shout out to everyone in the live chat. We got the Silva Dollar. We got Glasshopper77. We got Jay Massey, and we got All Day Dre, as well as everyone else watching around the world. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Let's get right into today's live stream. So here we are on CoinGecko, and Bitcoin trading for $92,750. Ethereum trading for $17.66. Nice breakout on ETH today, even with Bitcoin dominance going up, which is great to see. Anyway, Solana at 150, and overall a sea of green. As you can see, if we look at some of the top gainers, it does appear we are actually back from the percentages on these pumps. Zero Bro, that AI agent thing that makes music, is up 138%. DeepBook liquidity project on Sui up 124%. Nairo ETH is up 50%. And ARK, a lot of these AI agent plays coming back to life. TARS AI up 40%, Griffin up 36%. All the AI agents, REI, ALCH, they are all on this list as the top gainers for the day. So big breakout. Let's get right into it. First things first, taking a look at Corn, aka Bitcoin. Now, big breakout. And what's the most important thing to notice here on the chart? Hopefully you guys will say it before I get to saying it right now. The most important thing on the chart was the daily candle close today. Look where it closed. It closed at $93,400 exactly on the Bybit Perps chart. Why is that extremely significant? Well, it closed above the previous swing high. So yeah, we are actually back here. We're back in business. Now, yes, obviously we didn't grab 72K. So, I mean, can this rally go and pump and like break out and make a new mega all-time high? Theoretically, it could, but I just don't think that's going to happen. But I do still believe we have some more upside here. All right, so pretty exciting. Again, we have confirmed a break of structure to the bullish side with a daily time frame closure above that previous swing high level, which is just right here at $88,740. So that is awesome. So let's go over our levels now for Bitcoin and what we should be looking out for right now. Well, while I have the arrow up on the screen, let's go ahead and turn that to a neutral color. We're going to use white here because it's easy to see on the chart. So here we are. We came directly to the yearly open today, right? The yearly open over here at $93,600 approximately. Few things to note. I have marked our highs. All right, these are significant daily time frame swing high levels. You should already know where they are. You should have already marked these on your charts, hopefully. But anyways, we got them at 95,250 or 95,058, sorry. And we also have one up here at $99,450. Basically $100,000. This is the important one up here at 100K. Remember when this one was created, this pump and dump? Remember when Trump announced that crypto altcoin strategic reserve on a Sunday evening? Market pumped and then dumped immediately. So yes, this is a swing high on the daily time frame, but the important one is up here at 99.4K. All right. So with that being said, we should be looking for price to continue higher, and it's likely going to clear this high at 95K and head up here to 99,000. All right. That is our next target to the upside, $99,454. Are we just going to immediately go straight up there? Again, it's always possible, but that's usually not how the market works, where we go on an extreme parabolic rally and just go right to the next level higher. We'll typically do some kind of pullback, right? And then go to that level. So where are we looking for the pullback? Well, that's the question. That is the question, all right? We did leave, as you can see right here in the daily time frame, we did leave some stuff. Especially if we go look at the total, which we'll do next. But yeah, we left this behind. This is an order block now hidden, depending on how this candle is going to close. But yeah, we left this order block behind at 90K. As you can see with today's daily candle, we just sliced through it like butter, essentially leaving this level behind here. Previous supply zone now essentially turned to demand. It's not the cleanest by any means, but it is there. And then lower than that, we do have a lot of things here at around 85,000. However, as you guys know, I do like my supply and demand levels. And there is a significant supply and demand zone here on the daily time frame. It's a bit of a rally-based rally. And it's a bit of a wide one too, and it's at 82,500 down to around 79,500. So what we can do with such a wide zone, an effective tip to actually go ahead and help us break down these zones, is we can just find the midpoint of them. Where's the midpoint of this demand zone? $81,075. This is the juice spot. But obviously it's a significant distance away from the current market price, right? This is a 12% swing. If we're going to come all the way back and test demand, this would also be, coincidentally enough, if you see, and if it works out like this, it would be also a retest. If you guys like trend lines, it would be a retest of this breakout. If we came down here, obviously it's a significant 12% retracement, but hey, like that is the juice spot on the chart. Every other level is every other level is essentially tested. Like I said, there's 85K, which sticks out, right? That's from all the basing over the past week we did essentially. But the real spot to look out for is demand down here, and the midpoint of that demand zone is at $81,075. And then, if we lose that, we'll come down to 72. But we ain't talking about that right now because we have a daily time frame close above the previous swing high. But mark it, because that is the spot. X marks the spot. 81,000. However, if we look at our total market cap chart, we had also a significant development today happen on the total. Currently, the total is at 2.86 trillion. And what did it do? Just like Bitcoin, it closed above this previous swing high level, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Pretty cool. So we have a confirmed breakout on the total market cap chart, confirmed breakout on Bitcoin itself, a lot of other charts, all charts looking really good. Now the thing is, again, all of the total liquidity charts, such as the total and the total 2, we went over this in previous live streams, but for anybody new here to Crypto Empire, we'll briefly go over it again. The thing is that all of these other charts, the total 2, it hit this really important key level over here at 2.38 trillion. Sorry, that's the total. The total 2 hit the key level over here at 860 billion. So that was the bottom for altcoins on April 7th. When these levels got hit on April 7th, that was the bottom for altcoins. The hesitancy that I've had was because Bitcoin didn't hit that 72K level. But because the total liquidity charts did, clearly that was enough juice to get these going and change the trend now to close above these previous swing high levels. So anyways, like I was just showing you on BTC, we also have some levels over here in the total, and most notably, we again have this rally-based drop supply level. And as you can see with the daily candle today, it just completely left it behind. So depending on how this candle today is going to close, we more likely than not are going to have a fair value gap, and it will be something like this. Something like this. And of course we can turn it green. Let's actually make it more neutral. Right? So depending on how this daily candle, which just started 2 hours ago, is going to, close today in 22 hours time, we will have, if it keeps on doing what it's doing right now, we'll have this order block left behind that is going to be, inside of this FVG. So that's a spot to be looking out for, and that is from 2.82 trillion to 2.79 trillion. How do we use this? Well, we use it if altcoins are at support and Bitcoin is at support. We can certainly look to long things on a pullback into here. All right. And again, that's at 2.81 trill, right where the daily 200 EMA is as well. And yes, with today's daily candle close, we have closed above the daily 200 EMA, which is obviously a very positive sign because that is the mean, right? The long-term higher time frame mean price. And we're back above the mean. which is what happens when the market is bullish, right? When we're below the mean, things aren't so hot, but when we're back above it, that's when we start to do well. And we have another situation now where the total market cap is broken above the daily 200 EMA or the mean, and we are looking good to continue to push higher. Now to the upside. Yearly open is up here at 3.81 trillion. Previous swing high is at 2.25 trillion. So that's the real juice spot level up here at 3.25 trillion for the total market cap. But yeah, really exciting that we have closed above the previous swing high. Again, we have a local level to look for a pullback. And other than that, I mean, we can draw the same demand zone we drew on Bitcoin over here, which is at 2.6 to 2.5 trill. And that's our juice spot. All right, we'll put an X that marks the spot. Get our emoji icons on TradingView and put an X here. Anybody who likes to treasure hunt, X marks the spot. That's your spot. Now, like I said, Bitcoin dominance is going up, and Ethereum even was able to break out today with Bitcoin dominance going up like it is. As you can see, ETH today with a big candle up here trading at $1,769 at the current market price. And even with Bitcoin dominance pumping. So definitely interesting to see. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin dominance, it's very important to understand that this is a major catalyst for an altcoin season because we need capital to rotate out of Bitcoin and into your mid caps and your low cap coins, right? That graphic I've talked about in the past, the secrets of crypto graphic from 2020, 2021 that everyone has now used and ripped off and claimed as their own. And the whales also used that and pulled the reverse Uno card in 2024, which was quite ironic. It's always kind of how it works in the markets. Anyways, that's how it works, right? Bitcoin, mid caps, high caps to your low caps, the money cyclical flow. So yeah, we need this to go down significantly to have our altcoin season, right? Is it ready to go down yet? I would say not quite. Why do I say not quite? Well, we had now 2 daily time frame candles close above this previous swing high on Bitcoin dominance. That previous swing high is at 64.31%. So it does look like we are going after the very important level up here at 66% up here. All right. So with that being said, it doesn't look like this is the crazy altcoin season just yet because, again, we need this to roll over. And it doesn't really show signs of rolling over just yet. It likely will go for this level first. What does that mean? Well, like I've been saying, you know, it's wise to have that spot exposure, and you can see why I was saying it now with the big pumps. But if this spikes up again, you know, we could see some kind of crazy volatility in altcoins. So just something to keep in mind. Bitcoin dominance doesn't look topped just yet, which means that altcoin season isn't ready to necessarily, you know, get going right now. But we have USDT dominance dropping, which is giving fuel for alts at the current moment in time. Now on USDT dominance, as you can see, I have a level labeled here. Very high time frame, 25-day time frame. Right, we have this little order block left behind here inside of a fair value gap. And as you can see, that did get tested exactly today. And that's where Bitcoin ended up topping out right here. When this hit 5.1%, essentially 5% was the low. So yeah, I mean, these order blocks are very significant. Supply and demand zones, order blocks, etc., etc. They're all very significant, and they do, price reacts to them, and that's why we use them. So yeah, I mean, this level it got hit now, it just tapped. Okay, so it's still can certainly come back into it. And as you can see lower, if we go back to our daily time frame, we have a significant previous swing low over here, 4.38%. So that's kind of our big target that we should be looking for right now, at around 4.38, 4.37% on USDT dominance. And if we do get below that, as you can see, if we close below it, we are all systems go back to where we were at the height of the market when Bitcoin was at 109,000 and altcoins were valued in multi-billion-dollar valuations. Now they're all worth, a fraction of that, down 90-80% or whatever. But that would be at 3.8%. So if we can get below 4.38, we're going to 3.8. And then if we can get below 3.8, we're going to 3.3. And at that point, hopefully everyone is super rich from holding their altcoins. And we can all ride off into the sunset. But again, like I just said, with the whales playing the reverse Uno card earlier in the cycle, it doesn't always usually work out like we always expect it to, what everyone expects. Even with this pump we're seeing today, right? A lot of mixed signals with the fact that Bitcoin did not take that key level, but the total liquidity charge did, and that was enough juice to send it. So nothing is always crystal clear, black and white in the financial markets. It's always very dynamic. Always very dynamic. Anyways, let's go ahead and catch up with our live chat and see how everyone is doing today with the pumps. I'm going to assume the mood is better amongst everyone because there's green candles. That's just always how it works. People's emotions are dictated from the market price action. It's not a very healthy way to live. But when you're in crypto super deep, that's just kind of what happens when you constantly check the price. So don't get too caught up in the market swings and let it affect your mood on a daily basis. But yeah, that's just how it is with crypto people. But anyways, shout out to Jay Massey. We got Ahad Musarat, Living La Vida Crypto. What is going on, my friend? As well as the Albert, DC, and Armzilla. What is up, Armzilla? What's up, M2, my man? M2's been looking for the live stream for a while. I'm glad we can get it out in due time for him to tune in live. Be sure to smash up that like button. Everyone watching the stream right now, your support goes a really long way, and one like goes a really long way as well. All right, so let's get this stream to minimum 100 likes. Smash it up. Smash up that like button. Uzman says, no more 72K for now. For now, yeah. Jax wants to look at Toshi. Hey, let's look at Toshi while we're on the topic. Let's get into the topic of memes and altcoins and things like that. So base coins in general, not really picking up too hard just yet. They're starting to percolate up a bit. Starting to dance and prance a little bit to the upside, but no real mega moves yet. However, it looks like we could be seeing some with Ethereum looking how it is. So real quick, let's check out Toshi and what's going on here on the chart. All right, so let's mark out some things, right? We got the previous swing high up here. Pretty important to close above that. Could happen tomorrow or today, even at that, right? If we get a big breakout here, close above this level, we're likely going to, make a significant gain. Potentially we're looking at 65% to our next level of supply, which is going to be all the way up here. But of course, we have to close above, these swing highs first. Let's take a look at this chart real quick and see what we got going on. So, look, if we're going to have a huge green week, we're going to leave this Monday range behind. All right. If we're going to have a huge, big breakout weekly candle here, this goes for all your alt charts. If we're going to expand massively, well, we're going to leave the range that formed on Monday behind, right? But that doesn't mean that we can't come back and potentially retest it. And while we're on the daily time frame here, we do have this left behind partially, right? It did get wicked into partially. But anyways, that's right at our Monday high. And if we pull a little fib 50% is kind of right at the Monday high as well. So for altcoins like Toshi, for example, again, if we're going to have a massive green week, we essentially want to look for a move that is we're going to leave this price action behind hard if we're actually going to break out here. So potentially we're going to come back and just retest that Monday high level and then blast off. All right, maybe we come to the Monday mid. But if again, the idea here is that we're going to have a big green week. It's only Tuesday right now. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday left. That's a lot of time to put in a big move on that weekly candle that is forming right now. It's 2 days in. So yeah, we basically want to long the pullback to catch that big expansive move up that is potentially on the table for the week. And on Toshi, that's 0.00035 approximately. But yeah, that's what we're seeing here. When it comes to all your alts, we want to see if we're going to have one of these big green expansive weeks. And it looks like we're in the early stages of one just now. And we'll see how it develops. But new all-time high for Toshi from this, highly, highly doubtful. Significant gains? Yeah, significant gains. New all-time highs? Nah, probably not. But anyways, hope that helps, my friend. Shout out to Guts Motors saying, yo, what's up, Guts Motors? And Incognito 111. Declan Wyatt says, smash the like button. What's up, Connor? What's up, Declan? Guys, again, we want to hit 100 likes. We're like halfway there, which is weak. Smash up that like button. Thank you for all of your support. Jay Massey says, do you think the total market cap for everything will reach $10 trillion? 10 trillion. That's a lot of T's. Or that's a lot of zeros, I should say. 10 trill. That's all the way up here. All the way up here, 10 trillion. I mean, that's a 3x on the total crypto market cap chart. No, I don't think it will hit 10 trillion. Keep an eye on this 61.8 though of the low to the high. The 61.8 is at 4.42 trillion. That's significant. 10 trillion. Man, whatever you're smoking, brother, get me some of that. Must be really good stuff. Let's see. Sky X says, do you think we will pull back tomorrow or keep pumping? Well, the way it appears right now, again, this is the total market cap chart. Cleared the previous swing high. So that's a very bullish break of market structure. Bitcoin cleared that previous swing high up here at 88. Very significant bullish break of market structure. So to answer the question, will we, pull back or keep pumping? I think we will pull back. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow per se. It certainly could be, especially with USDT dominance reacting to that 25-day level at the current moment in time. But we just want to long the pullback, basically, right? When we have this confirmed bullish break of market structure, we have a very valid reason now to ride a trend, right? Because we now have a confirmed trend. So yeah, hopefully we pull back essentially to long, if you weren't long already. Let's see. Silva Dallas says, smash the like, everyone. Yes, sir. Smash up that like button. And let's see. We got Crypto Mike. He says, hey, Connor. Thanks as always. No worries, Crypto Mike. Appreciate the support. Sky X says, what's going on with OXO? I'm not sure. I haven't checked that chart, but I know other AI coins are doing well today, right? Cubic doing well. Tau started the week off really strong. And other AI coins doing well. Let's check out 0x0. Opposite, really not doing too well. Looks like it wicked down super hard. Someone wanted out. So what's going on with it? Well, they delayed their exchange like a million times, so I guess everyone is pissed off now because they keep on delaying, but I really don't know what the heck's going on with it. I would go to their Telegram and ask them directly, and there's probably a bunch of really disgruntled people in there asking the same exact thing as well. So that is where you'll find the answer of what's going on. In terms of the price action, I mean, this thing loves making sweeps to bottom, right? Why do I say that? It's done it every other time it's put in a significant move. It puts in a really low sweep in price, sweeps all the lows, and then it sends off. Could this happen now? I mean, the daily candle closed in a sweep. It looks like shit, so maybe it will. Usually when things look like total dog shit, when they're completely oversold and they have daily time frame bullish divergence, there's a chance it's the bottom, but we'll see. It's kind of putting in a similar fractal to all the other times it's bottomed out with just a sweep of the lows, and then we'll see if it follows through and pumps. But yeah, like I said, other AI coins doing decent. Cubic rally off of the bottom here. Currently up 143% from that bottom on March 10th. Tau trading at 335, up 2x from the bottom. Basically 2x, not exactly. Yeah, it is up 2x from the bottom, 101%. What else is big and green on the AI watch list? TAI is up massive. So activity is going on with some AI coins, right? This is up now 140% from the bottom. Same performance as Cubic, essentially. So, pretty interesting stuff happening on the AI front right now. Some AI coins are seeing this liquidity trickle in. Coming from Tether dominance. It's not coming from Bitcoin. We know that. How do we know that? Because Bitcoin dominance keeps on going up. It's coming from Tether. It's coming from stable coins. It's coming from USDC as these charts are going down. So we have stable coins going into altcoins like the AI coins we just mentioned, as well as everything else that's big and green. DC is asking about another AI coin, Desync, which is still at its bottom range, hasn't broken out of this bottom range yet. Trying to break out of the bottom range. So when it comes to this chart, look, if it's about to break out here, well, you can get in pre-breakout. Like I said, if we're going to have a big green expansive week, this is the weekly candle right now. If it's going to be big and green, it's going to leave the Monday range behind hard. And so many altcoins put in the same move earlier this morning where they just sweep the Monday low and then pumped out of that sweep. But yeah, look, if we're going to have a big green expansive week, let me hold up. Let me see something. This is interesting. Okay. So I like the 288 minutes is 1/5 of 24 hours. I have favorited the time frame for anyone who wants to know. It's a good time frame. Great time frame, actually. So anyways, in that 288, we got something here. Little fair value gap with an order block left behind. And if we take this, it's not really too, we don't have any fib confluence there. But that's at 14.37, 14 cents, 14.37 cents. And then, yeah, we did leave this one behind right at the Monday high too. So this is probably going to be one we should actually pay attention to. And if we take this low, right, swing low to the swing high, we do have fib confluence, boys, right at the Monday high. So that's Desync. And I'm sure we can go through charts, and they're not all going to have the same setup, but many of them will. But yeah, if we get this pullback, it would be a pretty steep one. It might not happen. It would be a 10% move. But you want to see that, right? When you're looking for longs at levels of demand, typically it's better, especially, supply zone, same thing. It's usually typically better to see a really sharp move into it. All right, when you get that slow grind, and of course the trend makes a huge difference. But anyways, if we get a sharp move down here, yeah, that would be a great long. As it does appear with Bitcoin and the totals breaking out A lot of these altcoins are likely to follow here, but this one's still in its bottom range. So anyways, keep an eye on that. Guts Motor says, send this man super chats if you want specific analysis. I like that, Guts Motors. You can be the new Crypto Empire spokesperson with statements like that. Shout out to Guts Motors, everyone. Justin Andrews, what do I think about Ski Mask Dog? Well, like I was just saying when we were looking at Toshi, you know, these base coins, they're starting to percolate up, a little dancing and prancing to the upside, but they're not really showing the same strength as a lot of these other coins are, in the sense that they haven't cleared these PSH levels, but you know, it looks like they want to. So interestingly enough, Ski Mask Dog never hit my lower levels, with the most significant one being all the way down here, you know, closer to 10 million. But it never even hit demand over here at 25 to 15 mil. It left them behind, just like Bitcoin left 72K behind. But what do I think about Ski Mask Dog? I sound like a broken record with base coins, but I think the cats are going to have a big showing out, right? Miggle's up 20%. Key Cat's up 30%. I think these cats could see a decent move. And also, we got May the 4th coming up, which is Star Wars Day. So that should mean good things for base Yoda. I'm starting to see a little bit of a rally form in here. It's in its very early stages, super low market cap. But this thing sent on May the 4th last year. We'll see if history repeats, right? Also, the market conditions lined up perfectly. It looks like we might potentially have market conditions lining up again for a May the 4th pump, Star Wars Day pump on BOTA. I would keep an eye on this one as well, potentially in a bull flag here. But yeah, base coins in general, they're underperforming a lot of other coins, and that's mostly because Ethereum is really just, it's pumping, but it's not putting in any god candles like Bitcoin is just yet. But anyways, what do I think of Ski Mask Dog? It's not the worst coin to have by any means, right? It's already up decently, as you can see off of the bottom. 25 mil, I think, was the bottom. So it's up, 2x? Let me find it again on my watch list over here. Here it is. Right, it's up 81%, 82% from the bottom. And yeah, if it decides to clear this level, it could make a significant jump higher. Where to? Yeah, probably around 100 mil, 90 to 100 million market cap in here, which would be like a 3x off of the lows. So yeah, that's what I think of Ski Mask Dog. There's definitely money to be made. It hasn't broken out yet. It's starting to, but I think some of those other base coins that have a lower market cap could outperform it. T says base is trash compared to, or is that just like, that's fine. Solana, I think, is trash. Base has been really good to me, so I don't share the same sentiment you have with base. PG says, hi, Connor. Should I buy Dog and Me and KeyCat versus Miggles or Ski because Miggles and Ski didn't get the listing, even though it might list later on? Or you suggest differently? So if you want to base what you buy purely off of the Coinbase listings, then yeah, you should buy the coins that already have been listed on Coinbase, if that's what you want. If you, from this question, the way it's worded, meme coins, they were originally all about, community and vibes and having fun. Circa 2023, even 2021, right? They became just a bullshit thing where celebrities and all the big crypto Twitter accounts would just farm the audience constantly from them. So now nobody looks at a meme coin as like, yeah, this is cool. Like, I want to be a part of this community, right? So you're asking 4 different meme coins. Have you checked out? Like, have you gone on in their Telegram group or anything like that? Or do you obviously, I know you haven't, or you don't care about that. That's the point I'm making, right? But yeah, I mean, look, those are the 4 you listed out are good coins on base. And I sound like a broken record, but you know, I like the cats, man. I like the cats. Shout out to Eric. What's going on, Eric? Eric says your assessment was on the money with Pepe your last live stream. Wasn't now. Honestly, I believe you, but I haven't even checked Pepe. I haven't been trading it. I haven't even looked at it. So I believe you that I was correct, but I really don't even remember what I said. Let's take a look. So from the lines I drew out, that's the problem when I chart 100 different coins on the stream. I can't remember which one had like the really, it's a lot. It's a lot. But anyway, shout out to you guys for, you know, reminding me of things. So what happened on Pepe? Well, it looks like we cleared this high, which I, you know, drew out, right? We cleared this high and we came right to the other high that I labeled out. So magic, technical analysis. Some call it astrology for men, but it does work sometimes. So yeah, Pepe, yeah, very, very clean move here to the range highs. And, you know, we'll see if it does clear this previous swing high level over here. And we got a level just above that we want to be on the lookout for. Could be a potential local top up here at this level. 8.5% higher. Shout out to Doles. He says, let's go. Like the live stream, everyone. Yeah, guys, like the stream. Appreciate the support. Michael M. What's up, Michael M? He says, great job. Love your vids. Never miss them. A bit disappointed the 72K didn't hit. But hey, what's your top 5 bullish coins if you were looking to spot buy without previous positions? So yeah, 72K didn't hit. It will hit, but not yet. So now let's see the question. Top 5 bullish coins if I didn't have anything right now. If I was starting from scratch, I probably wouldn't go full tilt all in on like super low caps. I think AI, coins like Tau, if you want a little lower one, something like Cubic could potentially be good. Of course, do your own research, not financial advice. We talked about some base coins, which could be good. Right? We like the cats on base. But yeah, if you're interested in further analysis and you want one-on-one questions like this, you can apply to the Crypto Empire Mastermind down below. And we can talk about this in detail off a stream. Anyways, Dole says, let's go like the stream. We already read that comment. We got Emery Perez. He says, any idea why Render isn't responding to the pump? I don't know why Render isn't responding to the pump. I don't have a specific answer to that question. By the way, we've been on the 288 the whole time. Damn. Anyways. I mean, it does look like it's up 80. It went up 86% from the bottom. Right. Even better performance than Ski Mask Dog, which is up 82% from the bottom, which is interesting. It's still in its Monday range, and it didn't even test the Monday low. So, very stubborn Render is. Very stubborn. I mean, I would like to see this move, a Monday low sweep, because it never did. If you look at every other coin that broke out, let's just go through them real quick. Actually, Tau didn't hit that Monday low. Aptos did. Aptos did. Near did. WorldCoin did. Render didn't. Say did. I actually looked at Say today and this was so clean, man. It was so clean. I actually didn't hit the Monday low. Never mind. It broke out without. But over the weekend, or last week, I should say, this move, it was so clean. Such a textbook play. But anyways, I don't know why Render is doing what it's doing. But I would like to see it hit that Monday low. It looks like it might just want to break out if it's going to break out, though. But Render's always a troll, right? I bought this coin in the depths of the bear market, 2023. So, I mean, I know how the coin moves. The price action is definitely wacky compared to other coins. So yeah, if you're not going to be constantly on top of watching the Render chart, price action, I wouldn't even worry about, say, trading it per se. Joey Joe says Cubic is probably the strongest coin through all this market turmoil. Yeah, it's up 140% from the lows. It was extremely oversold. It's always tough to hold it down there, but selling down there at those lows would have been a purely emotional, very weak thing to do. So that's why you got to hold on in tough times if you didn't sell the top, basically. Right? If you're not going to sell top, don't sell bottom. So yeah, it's good to see the performance on Cubic. All right, so let's take a look at some news on the day. We got a tweet from Elon Musk at 1:48 a.m. in the morning. Crypto-related tweet from Satoshi Nakamoto himself, aka Elon Musk. He says there's an old saying, if a hot girl texts you about crypto, block him. Ja, huh? It's a good one, Elon. So obviously the market responding well to the tweet. Now, if you look at Watcher Guru and everything going on with geopolitics, as well as the U.S., lots going on. First of all, our boy Klaus has left the WEF, and his replacement's even funnier. Let's see. They don't have a picture of him. But yeah, here's our boy Klaus. Good depiction of him. And here we go. This is the big stuff. So President Trump says tariffs on China will come down substantially and he won't play hardball. All right. So Trump using some negotiation tactics, and the market responded super well to that. Also, Jim Cramer says the bear market rally could become a real recovery. So that is obviously a red flag. But Cramer always sends out these mixed signals. And Elon is not stepping down from Doge. So, of course, we need to check the Dogecoin price. If Elon isn't stepping down, well, the Doge meme will live on forever then. So looking at Doge, the real important level is going to be up here at 20 cents. And it hasn't gotten there. Doge, one of the coins I did actually catch the exact bottom on. I'm playing. But I did actually catch the exact bottom on Dogecoin here on April 7th. Right here at 13 cents. So yeah, we're essentially looking for now on Doge, like I said, right? We want to just leave this Monday range completely behind. We want to leave it in the dust. So we're already leaving it in the dust now. The question is if we're going to pull back into it before we hopefully have a bit of a parabolic move here. So supply zone just above. And with all these other charts, what they all did was they all melted directly through supply and they left behind right? They disregarded it. So if that's going to happen and we're going to melt through this level, we're looking for a move basically up here to like 22 cents, which is very exciting for Doge. But yeah, look, we got to let's keep using the 288, man. 288 is a great time frame. It's not the cleanest. Yes, it's already used up a bit here, but there's a level of interest at 17 cents, but it doesn't line up with too much. Dogecoin. Monthly open, 16.7 cents potentially for a pullback. Right there, potentially. But anyways, that's our news for the day. And also tweet, Ethereum reclaimed 1800. Not quite, but it's getting there. ETH breaking out big. So we actually haven't even checked ETH or gone over it in detail here. So, let's go ahead and do that. So, previous swing highs up here, 1950 to 2088. Perfect Monday low sweep to break out today and sent. Very textbook stuff there. So yeah, look, Ethereum has a date with 1950. ETH's got a date with 1950 and it's going there now. The question is, of course, do we get the pullback first? This still was unused, huh? Wow, look at that. Search and you shall find. Search, seek, and you shall find. Ooh, baby, right at the 61.8. 1639 is your pullback level on Ethereum if given. If given, it might just go right up higher. But if you see the pullback to 1639, that looks like a very juicy level. And it would also be a retest of the Monday high. And also, I don't think 1800 is going to be like the top of this candle. Right? And that's what we used for the fib. So this fib is subject to change. But right now, if this thing stops right at the daily 200 EMA and it pulls back, this is your level to look for, 1639. Let's keep it pushing, keep it moving. So on other news, Atlantis DEX on Monad. If you guys are using Monad testnet, well, you already know what Atlantis is because it's like quickly becoming the most popular project on Monad, which is quite interesting because there's no venture capitalists. It's not funded by big VCs or the Monad Foundation themselves. It's like a small, basically grassroots team that knows what they're doing. And it's pretty insane. They have minted 17,500 of their NFTs, right? I've shown you a few of the mints so far on the stream. 19,000 minted. Keep in mind, this is all testnet. It's not real. But you need to do 20 swaps to mint an NFT every 3 hours. And people have minted 19,000 of them. That's a lot. That's a lot of activity. it's important to understand as well. If you look at this thing's X account, right? 4,500 followers. If you go look at all other crypto projects' socials, they all paid and they all bought their followers up to like 50K, whatever, 100K followers. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. It's very easy to see, one that doesn't do this bullshit stuff and, take a look at the numbers on their activity, right? It's all organic. It all lines up perfectly. If you go look at all these other projects, especially DEXs on Monad, they're going to have a lot of bullshit numbers on their X social accounts. So, I mean, look, I'm pretty hyped for this. The Crypto Empire Mastermind, we were able to invest in the private round. That's one of the perks, obviously, of being in the Mastermind. You can get access to stuff like this early. But, yeah, I mean, look, this one will have legs, I think, when Monad goes live. I would definitely be using the testnet for the airdrop if you haven't already just yet. But very exciting stuff out of Atlantis. And let me just show you real quick. It's not real money. It's not it's testnet. But, I mean, a chart, a picture. Let me not botch the quote. A picture tells 1,000 words. This picture tells a good story. This is the chart of the ATL Atlantis token on testnet. It's not real. It's testnet. But, hey, clearly there's something good going on here. The fact that this thing is up like 1,000,000% from when testnet went live. 336,000%, 360x. So we'll see if the mainnet performance replicates this. I would love to see the mainnet performance replicate this, but I mean, it probably won't because this isn't real money. And when real money is on the line, things don't usually work out the same as, say, paper trading. But it's very good to see a chart look like this, albeit in testnet. It's a very good sign. So we'll see what happens. And of course, when the Monad mainnet goes live, that's at the time that this project will launch. But still some time, more likely than not, before that happens. But look at the numbers, folks. People lie, numbers don't. And they ain't bought it either. They're real numbers over here. So I would pay attention to that project for sure. Anyways, shout out to Richard Coley as well as CR2D2. He says, love your content, brother Connor. Thank you, CR2D2. Appreciate the support, sir. Guys, by the way, smash up the like button. We're trying to get to 100 likes on the stream today. We're over halfway there, but we haven't hit the goal yet, so the job ain't finished. Smash up the like button. Thank you for your support. Richard Coley says, what's up, Connor? Bitcoin on its way to 170,000. No, Richard. Unfortunately, I don't think it is on the way to 170K yet. We will see numbers that high, but I'm not sure. Like, this is the rally that's going to send us to those numbers. In fact, I really think it's such a low probability that we'll see 170K from this rally currently. There's always a chance it happens, but if I had to put a probability on it, it would be quite low. We got a super chat from Bob's My Uncle, my man Bob's My Uncle. He says, why does Tau never seem to pump when Bitcoin does? That's a good question, Bob. Thank you for the super chat. Why does Tau move differently? So we're actually going to do a little, let's do a little comparison. Let's use some of our tools we have access to. And let's put them top and bottom so that, we can do a little depiction. So what you got to know right now. What you have to know right now is what you're seeing on the screen is you were seeing Bitcoin on the top here. we're seeing Bitcoin on the top here and Tau on the bottom. All right, so we want to go here. This is a weekly chart from February 27th, 2023. When Tau first got traded on MEXC. So if you have, I mean, would you call it ADD? I don't really know, but I got to make sure this lines up perfectly. And this looks pretty good, but not, it's not quite perfect just yet. All right, we're getting there. Whatever, good enough. Yeah, this is good. We'll use it like this. All right, so at the top we got Bitcoin, on the bottom we got Tau. So as you can see, they do kind of move together on the higher time frames, in the sense where, you know, Tau broke out over here on the week of Monday, October 16th, 2023, and Bitcoin broke out at the same exact time when it broke above 30K. Right, Bitcoin went ahead and it pumped to a high of around 48K. Tau did top out earlier at 387. You know, when Bitcoin was up here in the mid 40s. Pulled back, and then when Tau made its all-time high, it was at the same time where Bitcoin went ahead and rallied up here and made that new all-time high at 73K. So on the higher time frame zoomed out, the moves are actually, they were quite similar over here in 2023, 2024. And then what happened? Tau actually front ran the breakout on Bitcoin starting in September of 2024. It front ran the breakout. As you can see, Tau went from around 220 to a high of 670. And in that same time span, Bitcoin went from 50K to 64K. And then more recently than not, they are kind of moving together in the sense that they all bottomed at the same point and they're pumping simultaneously. So on the higher time frame, the only things that have been different really have been the pump over here from late 2024, where Tau just front ran the pump. So anyways, Tau front runs. Tau moves first. What does that mean? It means there's a lot of institutional activity, right? There's a lot of big money involved in Tau. Digital Currency Group, DCG, is one big name that comes to mind. Yeah, Tau likes to front run Bitcoin and the rest of the market. So that's what we've seen, both at the rally from September 2024, as well as this current rally we saw at the start of April, or the bottom at the start of April. You know, Tau was a front runner. But in terms of why it doesn't seem to pump, it actually kind of pumps before Bitcoin. It leads Bitcoin, actually. That's what Tau does. So, Bob, I appreciate the super chat, and I hope this was able to answer your question. One thing real quick, though, while we're on these dual charts, one thing to keep note of, lads, is the Bitcoin Volatility Index, 7-day. I showed this, was it last stream? I don't remember when it was, but what you got to know is this is not a price chart up here at the top. It's just the volatility index. It's like the VIX. So what happens? Volatility gets low, and then it spikes and goes high. And then the market needs to cool off, so volatility gets low again, and then volatility will spike. And then volatility needs to cool off and get low. And then what happens when it reverses? When volatility goes back up, that's when we see a move on Bitcoin. It doesn't give you the direction. It just tells you that volatility is coming. Right? Get my Bitget chart. That's the Bitget chart. I want the Bitget chart. Here we go. But anyways, real quick depiction on the volatility index. So the last time this bottomed out, or actually the last time this topped out, volatility topped out on March 7th. All right, so March 7th, that was right after we just had a major crashed to the downside. And as you can see, March 7th right here where my mouse is, that's when volatility topped out. It bottomed when? On February 22nd. If you look at February 22nd, it's this candle here. It was the start of this crash down, all right? So I'm on the weekly and the daily. That's why I'm off. We got to use the same time frames. Very important if you're going to do this type of analysis. Anyways, right? Now we have them lined up perfectly again. So when volatility spikes, we get a big move down. When volatility spikes over here at the top, we get a volatility spike. We see price move down. Now we have volatility spiking again. First sign of reversal, as you can see. And this time the volatility, as you can see, is to the upside. All right, here's an example of volatility going to the upside. When we were over here breaking out in November, October, November, right? Volatility bottomed out, and we see price put in a massive move to the all-time high. So this is real, okay? This is like a real breakout is the point I'm trying to make here. And it's just the start of the move, right? The volatility index today reversed. So this is just like the start of it. And we're going to come back up to the highs up here, more likely than not. So we'll see how things do shape up. But, you know, this was the volatile move we've been looking for now. And we have it. It's here. It's there. It's everywhere. That's how you use the volatility index if you were wondering what the heck it is. That's how you break it down and actually look at it. I missed Angel's super chat. My man Angel, my bad, bro. Sorry for missing the super chat, Angel. Says, hi, Connor. Do you think TARS AI can reach 1 billion? My bad. Didn't see it. Was too occupied in the charts. Can it reach 1 billion from 332.8 million? 30x? 25x or something? Well, what I will say is, when AI coins topped out in March 2024, a lot of them hit 1 billion, and then that was their top, right? And a lot of these coins, they were at 30 million or so, and they went to 1 billion. So it's not some far-fetched dream. It can happen if the stars align. But TARS is AI, right? And yes, AI coins are most... like somebody said earlier, they're all AI coins are all meme coins and things like that. And that's largely true. But the thing is, artificial intelligence, it's the next industrial revolution, and it's changing humanity in the world. And it got super popular in 2024 because it got pushed by whales, essentially, the AI narrative. And it will become popular again. The point I'm getting to, right? At this point, it's probably going to be 2026 if I had to guess a time. But there's going to be a big crypto AI boom again, like we had in 2024. But I don't think it's going to happen, say, like tomorrow. Can it reach 1 billion? It's possible, but I wouldn't like pray for it and beg for it and rely that it has to hit 1 billion or you know you're going to be unhappy because it might obviously not happen. It's all based on probabilities. But again, many AI coins we saw, albeit that was from like that was from the 2023 lows, which if we look at the total 2, perfect chart to have up right now, the total 2. Right, if we look at the 2023 lows over here, the AI coins that were able to reach 1 billion from 30 million, that happened in a time period where the total 2 it increased by $800 billion. Okay. So it's actually, we hit the same exact point in the altcoin market that we were. Right? That was the key level at 860 billion. We hit that exact point of where we broke out from in late 2023 to go on, you know, the big bull market run we had then. So altcoins have just completely reset the entire cycle. The entire cycle has been reset. Altcoins peaked out, as you can see over here. Sorry, my dates are totally off. My mistake. So we hit the same level of the election. Yeah, so anyways, let me actually take a few steps back and rewind. We're obviously on a live stream, so we can't really do that. But October 2023 was the bottom for altcoins, right? And then they increased by not 800 billion, but they went from 497 billion to 1.6 trillion. They put in 1.15 trillion in market cap to see AI coins go from 30 million to 1 billion. We're not at these lows, okay? I don't know if we're going to see another 1-2 trillion come into the market. If we come back to the highs, we'll see a trillion. No, sorry. Again, wrong point on the chart. If we go back to the highs, we'll see an increase of 670 billion. So the same amount of money, that we saw flow in from these lows, right? We need to see a lot of money come in, basically. If we hit the bull target, we'll probably see those numbers. Yeah, but like I said, it's probably 2026. And let's see. Health Goat. Yeah, I'm not going to respond to that comment because it's bait. And like if you actually listen to the analysis. But anyways, that's besides the point. Shout out to the Crypto Dragon. And we have a question from Dark Knight saying, Trev didn't make any move today. Can it get anywhere close to the previous all-time high this season? So yes, Trev didn't really do too much today. And some base coins started to percolate up. 30% moves. Trev, as you can see, is still at 25 cents. Can it reach the all-time high? Well, I mean, that's the idea. It did go on a crazy, parabolic blow-off top over here. Like in the first 3 days, basically. And the thing was, the market cap started at like what? What was the market cap then? It was less than it is now at the same price because, there is some tokens coming into circulation from vesting. But there are no emission rewards for farming. And if you compare that to every other DEX, it blows them out of the water because they all have crazy high emissions. But yeah, the idea is obviously to see treble perform as base coins perform. I'm not going to answer yes or no if it can reach the all-time high. I would like to see that happen. I would like to see it exceed the all-time high. Currently it's at an 890K market cap, super low. But it's an actual DEX that generates revenue, so that's interesting. 10x to the highs, 12x. It's possible, 100% it's possible. Especially if we go look at the total two again, right? Look, if we're going to put in a rally even back up to the highs of the cycle, we'll see $560 billion, $570 billion come into the altcoin market. So treble needs like I don't know how much percent of that to go back to the all-time high. It's possible. Yes, it is definitely possible. And then down the line, like I said, if we do eventually come up to the bull target up here, and we see $1.5 trillion injected into the market, you would hope that it goes and makes a new all-time high. Be the logical thing to see. Let's see, my other bottom buy is doing okay. But yeah, in general, right now we got Bitcoin clearing the previous swing high at 88,000. The next swing high is up here at 95K. All right, so the fact that we have closed above this previous swing high level means we have now confirmed a new uptrend. That's great. So what do we want to do? We want to look to buy the dip and not trip. Again, the juice spot is all the way way lower in demand down here. And the 50% of that demand zone is a nice whole round number at 81,075. We do have this level that was just left behind at 90K today, and we have 85K as well. But again, that real substantial level is going to be here. X marks the spot. But these can certainly provide good trades in the interim. Because where's the target right now? Minimum or target. Let's get a little creative here. Our target minimum is, let's get a little magnet. Our target is $99,454 up here. There we go. Trying to get this magnet like straight. There we go. We don't like it crooked. We like it straight. Yeah, that's our target higher for Bitcoin up there at 99,500. And we're looking to obviously ride the trend up there. And typically it won't go straight up. It will pull back first. So that's the plan right now. Hold on, I got to sneeze. It went away. See, we got a lot of Treb fans in the audience. I mean, I know why. Trust me. Like, I know. We'll see if the world catches on, though. Anyway, shout out to Apex saying, shout out to throwing that big dog alpha. No worries, bro. Apex, what's your go-to DEX for futures trading? I don't use DEXs for futures trading. I prepared for the onslaught of totalitarianism early on in 2023 by getting access to a lot of centralized exchanges, KYCing to them. So I have access to many centralized exchanges, even though you can't get access to them now. I'm grandfathered in, so I don't use DEXs to futures trade. I prepared well ahead of time, knowing that they were going to make it extremely hard to use centralized exchanges. Way back then in the bear market, I got ahead of that. So yeah, I don't use DEXs for futures trading. I like centralized exchanges for those purposes. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Smash up the like button. We haven't hit that goal of 100 likes yet, but we will. We'll hit it. Whether it's now or during the replay. You guys are awesome. The Crypto Empire community, I'm very grateful for you guys. So, I trust we'll hit that 100 like milestone. Yeah, exciting times right now. We got the breakout on BTC, and we're looking to ride this trend higher for the time being. Let's take it level by level, and our next target is 99,450. And we'll see what we get for the pullback, but we know the main level closest to the current market price that's probably going to provide the best opportunity for a high probability reversal. It would be nasty, right? It would be a nice nasty drop into it, but those nice nasty drops when we're in a confirmed uptrend now, that would also retest the bear trend breakout. That would be juicy if we got it. So that's down at 81. Anyways, guys, signing off. Have a great night. See you all very soon. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. My name is Connor from Crypto Empire. And I'll see you in the next video.